HarperAudio Australia presents Daughters of Batavia, written by Stefanie Koens and read by Kristy Best, Jess Spies and Angus McGruther. The sea awoke at midnight from its sleep, and round the pebbly beaches far and wide I heard the first wave of the rising tide rush onward with uninterrupted sweep. A voice out of the silence of the deep, a sound mysteriously multiplied as of a cataract from the mountain side, or roar of winds upon a wooded steep. So comes to us at times, from the unknown and inaccessible solitudes of being, the rushing of the sea tides of the soul, and inspirations that we deem our own, are some divine foreshadowing and foreseeing of things beyond our reason or control. The Sound of the Sea, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. 1. Tess. Your charter plane is out of the hangar, the check-in attendant said, giving me the flight paperwork and a bright smile. Have a safe flight. Thanking her, I folded the still warm pages into my purse, stuffed between the commercial airline ticket stub and taxi receipts, and gathered my bags. As I left the charter company's office, a strong gust rattled the glass door behind me. I glanced over my shoulder and drew a breath. It was strange to see the same reflection I had appraised in my bedroom mirror at dawn, as if travelling 400 kilometres north and into unfamiliar territory should have produced greater changes than creases in my denim shorts and a wilting t-shirt. The Ray-Bans I'd purchased at the airport were no longer shielding my smudged eyes, but digging into my hair to stop curls flicking my face. I had been unprepared for Geraldton's windy weather. I crossed the car park towards a white Cessna aircraft sporting 2 cheerful red stripes. Parked in front of the sprawling storage shed, the small aeroplane seemed toy-like. My steps slowed. A man poked his head around the plane's nose. His crisp pilot's uniform contrasted with the grey hair frizzing untidily around his weathered face. You the one going to the Abrolhos Islands? I held out my right hand. I'm Tess. Mike Vogel. A smile accompanied his tight handshake. Here, let me take your gear. Hop in. He lifted the flap of the baggage compartment beside the open cockpit door and stowed my largest backpack inside. I climbed into the passenger seat and blinked at the dials, buttons and switches spanning the cramped cockpit. There was a small black steering device, like a video game controller, in front of both seats. I shot a backward glance at the office building's blank windows, which stared back, unsympathetic, as though saying, "You're doing this. It's really happening. Get on with it, then." Mike folded himself into the plane and began his checks. He handed me a headset, tested its microphone, and demonstrated how to buckle the wide belt straps around my lap. A snug harness fit over my shoulders. Mike's own headset flattened his wiry hair, and deep creases framed his eyes like lines on a map. The hands testing the controls were tanned brown and looked strong. Don't worry, Tess. I've been doing this a long time. You mean being a pilot? I unclenched my fists. Or flying to the Abrolhos? Both, you'll be glad to know. I flew crop dusters as a lad. Been working at this charter company for years now. Had no grey hair or wrinkles when I started. He laughed at his own joke. I sensed Mike was one of those characters who absorbed life experiences like a sponge. Ticking a box on the pre-flight checklist, he added, "Considering my Dutch surname translates to bird, you could say becoming a pilot was inevitable." He tucked the clipboard in a narrow recess and scanned our surroundings. "Let's get this show on the road." He pressed a lever and flipped a row of large switches. We lurched forward, and the propeller emitted a high-pitched whine and sputtered, its blades rotating into a round blur. We taxied before the plane.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?